You caught me mid-action as I was getting rid of my gum. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of You Are Meant for More. I'm your host, Francine Ayala, and I'm so excited you're here. My apologies for running a rerun last week. I needed a break after this phenomenal women empowerment conference that we hosted, and I just needed some time to rest. So I did it, I rested, and I feel great, and now I'm back. And I have to share, I mean, there's some exciting things coming our way. We are working on the whole Ignite Your Confidence workbook. So I'm announcing that today. And today I'm going to share about how to stop playing small and own your power. So the workbook is going to be announced next week. So make sure you're here for next week's show so that you have access to download it. And then we're going to dive into group coaching that is going to further focus on the areas and the steps that I work with people on during my coaching. So, yes, tons of stuff to come, you guys. And I can't wait. I mean, let's go ahead and dive in because it's going to be a great show. I want to make sure that you're here for it. Let me know if you're joining live or if you're catching this on replay. If there's something specific that sat with you today or that really connects with you, let me know because I am all about getting you to your next level and I'm here for it. All right, let's go ahead and get on track. Okay, so I wanted to first actually share an image from our conference. You guys okay with that? If you follow us on social media, you'll see all of the videos and the photos that people have been posting and everything. And yeah, you definitely want to go back and check those out. So I'm going to share really quick one of the photos of the group photos that we took. So let me go ahead and share here. Oh, absolutely love these men and women who came out and, were speakers, were vendors, were guests, and they had a phenomenal time. I got nothing but amazing feedback from them, and we can't wait to do it again. So make sure you join us next time. Don't miss out. They are great opportunities to build relationships, build community, and help you grow into stepping into your own power and purpose. So, all right, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into this episode. Okay. So let's talk about, let me pull up my notes. Okay, today we're talking about something that affects so many of us, right? Including me, it affected me, especially high achieving women who look like they have it all together on the outside, but are secretly playing small on the inside. How many times have you done it? Yep, more than once. It's happened. Let me make sure I share. I hide this. There we go. I'm back. All right. Doing two things at once, people. Okay, so we're diving into ignite your confidence, stop playing small, and own your power. Because here's the truth. You weren't meant to shrink. You weren't meant to dim your light or wait for someone else to give you permission to be great. You were meant for more. Yes, you were. And I have to share a quick story from the conference. I did my slideshow presentation because what I share a lot about in stepping into your confidence is how we come to be as a person. So our background, like how we were raised, who our mentors were, who placed those thoughts and beliefs within us. And I share on what age we were at a specific time and how that affected us, growing up. And my presentation and slideshow was actually done let me make sure, see if you guys can hear me okay, because I just realized I didn't bring my microphone here. Can you hear me? All right, we're good. But just to, so you know that we don't even realize we're shrinking ourselves to something that is, that was embedded within us back when we were younger. And when I did this presentation, I put together this slideshow. It was called Living Your Best Life and Stepping into Your Best Self. And I looked back, and at the slideshow at one point during my presentation at the conference, it literally said, "You were meant for more." And I told the audience, I go, "What is my show called?" And they were like, "You were meant for more." So there was these seeds that I was building. And I share this because my next segment that I'm going to talk about is being ready. You have no idea where life is taking you, where God is going to position you. Just do it. Okay? So grab your journal, grab your coffee, grab your protein shake, your water, whatever that may look like, because we're going to dive into this. Okay, you guys? So this first area is, let's have this real talk, right? How many times have you held yourself back because you felt like you weren't ready? Oh, I did it multiple times. Multiple times, all the time. And that's like has a lot to do with self-sabotage as well. But again, it goes back to repeated patterns that are stuck on our subconscious mind that I break down in other episodes. So maybe you didn't apply for that promotion, or maybe you didn't launch that business, or you didn't speak up at a meeting, or you posted a video, or you shared your idea, or you didn't share your idea. You just felt like you weren't ready yet. Yeah. So here's what I want you to know. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. Again, I know because I've did it multiple times. It's the sneakiest way to keep ourselves stuck, because the truth is you will never feel 100% ready. There will always be the one more course to take, one more certification to get, one more thing to figure out before you feel qualified. Believe me, I did it all, and I'm still learning and I'm still evolving. But confidence doesn't come from being ready. Confidence comes from actually taking action before you're ready. And this is why I love diving into like these talks and these coaching courses with my clients, because it really is about starting. And so many people are like, I just, I need to feel ready. I need to do this. I need to do that. And it just means you just have to make it happen. Because I had to keep, like, I like to share, I said, I like to keep failing forward. I kept pushing my business to its limits. I kept trying different things that either worked or didn't work, and I kept adjusting. But I wouldn't know that had I not even tried, had I not even taken that first step. And people today tend to ask me, like, how did you become a great speaker? I mean, we're our worst critics, right? I'm like, I am not a great speaker. I'm sorry, let me take that back, because words are everything. I'm a great speaker. I personally don't think I'm up there, because we're always pushing ourselves to be further, but I am going to get to that level, and I will continue, because guess what? I'll continue to show up. But I promise you, the first time I ever spoke on stage, I was a hot mess. I mean, I stumbled over my words. I walked a certain way. I was not classy at all. I just showed up, and whatever came out of my mouth just happened. So no matter what, like I told people, I started to actually be part of the chamber. They hosted events. So I had to speak on stage in front of hundreds of people at certain types of events. And I had to push myself until one time we had a gala, a very beautiful gala where it was like black tie and everything. And one of the women that was introducing the main honoree was a woman that I knew. She was a former newscaster, and I had a relationship with her. And they wanted me to be master of ceremonies. Now, if you don't know what that is somebody that runs the night with the mic. And so to come from where I've been to not feeling ready and just stumbling over my words on stage to actually having my own show, I mean, I'd say I'm pretty good, right? and believe me when I say I do acknowledge how far I've come. I do acknowledge that and give myself grace. And there's still a lot of work I want to do. There's still a lot of opportunity I want to go after. And all I'm saying is start, because you are never going to feel ready. And I'm sorry I had to get all of that out. So let me say hi to you guys. Okay. Hey, Rico, how are you? Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Rico. Hey, Will. Thank you for being here. Multiple times? What? Multiple times you feel like you're not ready? Yes. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Rico, many people are great speakers. The thing is, many of us don't like our voice. Hey, I didn't like my voice either. Guess what? Just do it. Just do it. I didn't think I had that voice. Like, where you think of, and of course, the Gen X people, where we think we have to have that radio personality voice. I did. I thought my voice had to be, up to that radio personality voice. And I was like, my voice isn't great at all. But again, these are all things that we tell ourselves. And now look at people are having podcasts, people are hosting shows, and so many people are loving what they're seeing and hearing on these podcasts, on these shows, and they're not perfect. And that's the beauty of it, is you can go out there and make something phenomenal with just your voice and just showing up. So, okay, let's dive into it. You guys, you all know I'm passionate. I get excited about this stuff. I should say, let's continue to dive into it. Okay. So think about it. Did you ever build confidence by staying in your comfort zone? Had I not been pushed out to go speak on that stage, had I not volunteered to participate in these types of events, I would have never pushed myself out of my comfort zone. So basically, you built it by doing the scary thing, by showing up even when you were nervous, by proving to yourself that you could handle it. So let me ask you this. What would you do today if you stopped waiting to feel ready? What bold move would you make? What dream would you finally go after? And I want you to sit with that for a second, because that right there, that's your power calling. Like, what would I actually go after if I wasn't afraid to step out of my comfort zone? And I literally had this conversation with somebody earlier. He was sharing that he was unhappy at his job. And I said, okay, well, what do you like to do? What is it that you can teach someone? What is it that you have tons of knowledge in? And he laughed and he said, sales. I was like, okay, great. So now you can start a company that focuses on closing sales. You can actually market yourself online, on social media, do consulting work. Like, there's so much opportunity out there that people are just unaware of and don't want to take action in it. And so I'm going to be that person that's going to continue to motivate you and cheer you on to have you step out of your comfort zone. And and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do all those things in order. It just means like, hey, where are you at in your life, in your business, in your career, where you want to push the envelope a bit, and you need that confidence to do so. All right, stick with me. Stick with me. I got more. All right. Okay. So now let's talk about why we play small. So why do we play small in the first place? Because it's not just about confidence. It's about the hidden beliefs that I mentioned earlier, running in the background that you might not even realize, that we don't realize, because again, the subconscious mind that holds on to these beliefs. And I want to say this before I forget, and my apologies for bouncing around. But yesterday, because you all know I do coaching as well, but aside from that, I received coaching. So I was receiving coaching in my class yesterday. And one of the things my coach said that I didn't really realize until she said it was, we are manifesting every day. So we are manifesting things around us, the people in our lives, the income we receive, the joy that comes, it could be even the bad, the anger from people, whatever that is, we are manifesting what's happening around us. So she gave an example. So let's say you want $1 million. I want $1 million for my business. And you can say, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. I want to do it. I want that. But if you don't believe it, if your subconscious is holding on to this belief that you're not good enough to get it, it won't happen. And if it does, you won't be able to hold on to it. So this is why self-development and coaching is so important, because as you start to release these negative connotations about yourself, you start to release those ideas and those limiting self beliefs, then you start to open up to, I am worth it. I am good enough. I am grateful, abundant to receive this $1,000,000, whatever that is in your life. So I thought that was really profound, because the thing is, I know how to manifest. I've been doing it like throughout the years. However, there's certain things that I'm just like, okay, if this didn't happen for me, how would I have gotten to, like, my financial situation? I wouldn't have got to the financial situation I was in unless I believed in myself enough to not get me there. And so, does that make sense? I didn't believe myself enough to get me to the income goal that I wanted. So we do it backwards to us. So for example, like if I wanted it to excel, then I needed it to go a different way for me. I needed to release these old patterns of, I wasn't good enough, or I couldn't make it happen because, maybe past beliefs of the whole money doesn't grow on trees, we don't have enough, things like that. So that's what my mind believed. And so I was sitting in this like, I was hitting an income gap. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. But you get to a certain amount of like a ceiling, an income ceiling, and then you stop and you don't go past that. And it's because of the beliefs that we hold on to that we're not even aware of. And so that's why I'm passionate, because what happens is so many people are unaware of these beliefs that we hold on to. And so I dive deep into asking questions. So when I start to ask questions, they start to open up. Now we have your conscious mind, we have your unconscious mind. And your conscious mind will like respond like right away and just be like, oh, I'm aware of this, and respond. But it's like, I'm not talking to your conscious mind. I'm talking to your unconscious mind. And sometimes I have to go a little bit deeper in order for me to break through to that subconscious. And that's where, like, to me, it's fun. It's fun because I get to see those aha moments in my clients' faces when they're like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe I held on to this. And that's like the breakthrough for me. And that's the breakthrough for them in general. Okay, sorry, I missed your messages over here. Okay, Rico, my dream would be speaking at a stadium with 50,000 attendees. Oh my God, we have a similar dream. I love that, Rico. That's amazing. So yeah, I actually envision myself speaking at Dodger Stadium, and Oprah's there. And who else is there? So like, I think Oprah did something with, I want to say maybe it was her friend Gail, but she did something with someone a couple years back, and it was at Dodger Stadium, and they were sitting out there. And I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, I'm going to be sitting out there, at Dodger Stadium on a platform with a bunch of women. And yeah, so same thing. So thank you for sharing. That's amazing. I love that. So just like talking about it, manifesting it, and things like that. I'm getting closer and closer to Oprah, by the way, because, again, it was only a few years ago. I was in college a few years ago, just a few years ago, you guys, when I was in college. And I know some of you who've been coming to my show for a while have heard this story, but I had said I was going to be as big as Oprah. And I'm like, it's not even as big as her. Like, I didn't want to be Oprah. I just wanted to empower, and inspire women all over the world. And so that's where it's like, but there's like certain things that she's showing up at, and I'm just like, I'm like, one of these days we're going to meet and I'm going to share my story with her. And it's going to be great. I love her. She's just, I never really watched her show growing up because I was a kid, like in school and stuff like that. But I just remember her as a person. I loved her as a person. And, when somebody like that really resonates with you and they inspire you, it's like somebody you remember, right, for the rest of your life. Okay, so got off track, you guys. Okay, so remember these thoughts, right? They're sneaky little thoughts that sound like, who am I to do this? Oh, mine was, actually, that was similar to mine. But it was like, mine was, who's going to pay me? Yeah, that was it. Like, who am I to do this? Who's going to pay me? What if people judge me? I'm not experienced enough. What if I fail? Like, I don't want to seem arrogant or too much. Oh my goodness. These are, I put these in because these are things that women have used, right? Um, Ultimately, that's something that women will do as we like, and I'm sure men too, where we're like telling ourselves we're not good enough. And it's just a constant replay in our head. And it's crazy, right? We think about it now, obviously, and we think, oh my goodness, how is that even a thing? Like I don't say stuff like that now. But here's what really is happening. These aren't facts, they're stories you've been telling yourself for years that you've become so familiar with that you think they're true. Yeah, we all think they're true. So let me break it down. 4 hidden beliefs that you are plain small. Okay. Number 1, I'm not ready yet. Oh, I said that so many times. We just talked about this one. It's like the belief that you need to be perfect or fully prepared before you step up. And spoiler alert, you don't. Believe me, I just shared my messy story about me going up on stage and just like saying whatever came out. All right, number 2, people will judge me. I mean, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone some way or another. I literally thought everybody judged me. I literally would hide in my shell. I wouldn't get out. I was embarrassed. And what are people thinking of me? I mean, you name it. I did it all. And I'm sure multiple people like you are doing it too. So, newsflash, people are going to have opinions no matter what you do. Remember, if it's an opinion that's negative about you, it's because of their own internal negativity. So it's okay. You could have cured cancer and someone would still have something to say. I mean, you see it all the time. But again, that's something that they're holding on to. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So you might as well do what lights you up and let them talk, because I love shining my light bright for all to see. And that's what I want for you guys. So number 3, I'm not enough. Oh, I did this multiple times. Not smart enough, not experienced enough, not confident enough, not fill in the blank here. I'm not filling the blank enough. This one's a big one, and it's a lie. You are already enough, and you always will be, and you always have been. So number 4, success means I'll lose something. Oh, this one was actually, I forgot I put this one in here. So this one, because I have a story, you guys, where I shared in a previous episode, but ultimately it was about we get comfortable in our space and you don't want to, I guess, ruffle any feathers. And what are like your neighbors? What are your coworkers? What are your people going to think of you? Or what is your family going to think of you? And this is where we put other people's opinions about us first. And that's where it's not okay, because then you're playing small, right? This is not where you're supposed to be. God meant for you to go out there and change the world. He meant for all of us to do that because he told us that we're the light of the world. So yes, don't fear losing something. Fear losing like your relationship with God, because that is the one that really matters. And that's the one I ran away from for so many years. And I laugh about it because, I always tell my story and I'm like, he was like, come on, Francine, let's get back over here. And I'm like, okay. But I'm telling you, it's the minute you let go and let God, things get so much easier for you in life in general. All right. So it's the fear that if you become too successful, too visible, too powerful, you'll lose relationships. Woo! I lost them all, by the way. But guess what? The real ones stay, and that's okay. You get to see who really cares about you and who really wants to see you succeed and who's really clapping loud for you. And the other ones were just meant to not be in your life. You'll be alone. People won't like you anymore. That whole thing, I'm going to be by myself, and it's lonely. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Entrepreneurship is lonely, But guess what? It's also very, I have to give you guys a story. When I did the conference, it's life changing, by the way. That's what I was going to say. But when I was doing this conference, I was really nervous. And I told God, I said, I can't do this by myself. Granted, I was doing it by myself. But I was like, I can't do this by myself. You're going to have to bring the people because I'm doing everything and they're not coming. So I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I would just be like in this panic mode. And God was like, have faith. And okay, I'm sorry. We're human in a human body, but guess what? Our spirit is of Him. So when He kept telling me to have faith, my human instincts were freaking out. They were freaking out. Like, I can't do this. Like, I was like, my anxiety was off the charts. But then He was like, have faith. Like, it's okay. Like, trust in me. At 4 o'clock in the morning, He's telling me this. So I was like, so I took like my deep breaths and I said, okay, give it to you, God. This was like 2 weeks out. And I'd get like one registration here, one registration there. And I was like, oh, I wanted 300 people in that room. So I was like, God, come on, let's go. And so I start freaking out again. I'm 1 week away and He's like, it's okay. Have faith. And I was like, So I'm sure if you've ever done that, if like God has ever told you to just wait and you are just paranoid because you're trying to do all the human stuff because you're in control of your life when actually He should be. I said, okay. So I did. I prayed. I sat in silence. And this was the first event conference that I'd ever felt so at peace with. And I was so in faith and just letting Him take the wheel. So let me tell you what happened. Conference comes and I'm like, out of 300 people, we had 35 people there. Whoa. I thought I was a failure. I thought I couldn't make it happen. So let me show you this again. Okay. The thing is, God will always put the right people in the room. You may not see it, you may not understand it, but He will always follow through, especially when He tells you to have faith. So the thing is, I'm no longer speaking to an audience of 300 where a lot of the women that I started with are no longer coaching with me or have evolved or have gone their separate ways or maybe not have evolved, but it's okay. And God positioned me for this event because these were the people that needed to be in the room. And we opened up in prayer and we opened up in music and dancing. And because, I like having a good time. So of course I brought in a DJ and we had a blast and all of the speakers were announced with a walk-up song. It was a beautiful event. And God reminded me, you're no longer going to be in the rooms that you used to be in. And some of these people here are powerful people. They're all powerful in my eyes. But I'm saying like there was a reason that this all happened. So trust it. I had to share that because that was powerful for me. Like I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe, that, these people weren't showing up, but there was a reason. And so anyways, I had to share that because it really reflects on like what we were talking about is you're going to lose those relationships. You're going to lose those people. You're going to lose, people are going to like, not be around you that used to be around you. And that's okay because you're bringing in new people. You're elevating, you're leveling up, you're growing. And God is placing the right people in front of you that want to support you and uplift you. And these people do. Like they can't wait for the next event. I'm just like, okay, I'm not doing it by myself again. So stay tuned for that. All right. Here's the thing, you guys. These beliefs are not protecting you. They're limiting you. And the first step to breaking free is awareness. I always talk about awareness in my coaching. There's awareness, understanding, dissociation, and reframe. Those are the 4 keys I use. You have to catch these thoughts in action and call them out. Oh, I do this all the time. I don't know if you guys do this, but if there's a negative thought or something that comes to my mind, I'm like, oh, nope, not going to play with that. Not today. Nope, not even happening. And I shift my thoughts. So I want you to ask yourself, which of these beliefs has been running my show? So, like, which of the beliefs have been running in the background, right? And more importantly, is it true? And of course, spoiler alert, it's not. So let's talk about that voice in your head. You know, the one I'm talking about, the inner critic, the one that says you're not good enough, the one that you're going to mess up, everything you're going to see is going to fail. No, that voice, like I remember if you've been with the show, you know, my coach would call it the itty bitty shitty committee. Nope. Take a step back. That voice has been running the show for way too long. Now, I'm not going to tell you to just think positive because, you know, that's crazy. Or silence the inner critic because let's be real, we're human, right? The voice isn't going anywhere. It's part of being human. But, and this is a big but, you get to decide if that's the voice in your driver's seat or if you are. Because we all get choices every single day. And what my coach told me last night was continue to understand that what's around you is shaping who you are because that's who you believe you are. And she talked about, which I love, stackers. So remember, we have this program. So if we're elevating ourselves, we're elevating, we're growing, we're, you know, doing all the things, we're shifting our business, we're shifting our mindset, we're shifting like our career, whatever that may look like. People, situations are going to come at us that are called stackers, that are going to look familiar to us so that our old system can replay back into who we are. But we need to stop going back to who we are and continue forward with who we want to be, who we're meant to be. So be aware of that. Your inner critic is usually just trying to keep you safe. It's that part of you that's afraid of rejection, failure, being hurt. So it tries to protect you and by keeping you small. But here's a problem. Staying small doesn't keep you safe. It just keeps you stuck. Yep, did it. So how do you take back control? Number one, name it. Give your inner critic a name. Like, you know, my coach called it the itty bitty shitty committee, or call it, you know, call it a Karen, call it a Debbie Downer, call it whatever you want. Call it a Danny Downer, Rico, Will. When you name it, you separate it from you. It's not who you are. It's just a voice. Step two, thank it and move on. Great, thanks. Bye, Debbie. You know, bye, Karen, whatever. Bye, Danny. When that voice shows up and says, thanks for trying to protect me. So you can say, thanks for trying to protect me, but I've got this. Like, I'm good. Then do it. Then do the thing anyways. Like, you're going to move forward with it. Like what you're going to do anyways. Because it will stop you mid action, mid sentence, mid anything. And it'll try to hold on to you. And you could stop and pause and then, all right, thank you for that. And continue what you were going to do. Step three, talk to yourself like you talk to your best friend. Would you tell your best friend she's not good enough, that she should stay small, that she's not going to fail? Nope. So stop saying it to yourself. You have to become your own biggest cheerleader because confidence isn't about never having doubts. It's about moving forward despite the doubts. And that's where the true power lies. All right. So let's clear something up once and for all. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build, and you get to build it every single day. You don't wait around hoping confidence will magically show up one day. You create it through action, through practice, through showing up even when you're scared. Think about the most confident people you know. Do you think they ever have any doubts? Oh yeah, doubts. People think I'm super confident. And for the most part, I think I am. But there's some things that happen in my career or my business or, you know, when I'm talking to people and like part of me wants to revert and I just laugh because I'm just like, I know what you're doing and it's not happening. I already know it. So I know how to catch it when it's happening. So people like that I'm real and authentic and I say whatever I want to say regardless. And they're like, I love that you're so authentic, Francine. You just share what's on your heart, what's on your mind. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be anybody else. This is who I am. And if I stumble, I stumble. If I fall, fail, whatever, I get up and do it again. I continue. But believe me when I say it took me a long time to get here. That's okay. Everybody gets to work through their own processes, and that's fine. All right, Rico, I got you. Would you say that it could be selfishness in us? I would have to find out a little bit more about that. So, like, I want to ask more questions when you say, would you say it's selfishness in us? Because the thing is, there's more to that question because we all process things differently. Can there be? Yes, there can, but there's a reason behind it. And it's not necessarily you. So that's why when I say there's more to that question, there's more to that question. It's a deeper level question because selfishness can come from past situations and people and understandings and beliefs that we're not even aware of. And sometimes it's not even a reflection of who we are, but what we know. So yeah, there's more depth. If you want to talk more about it, let me know. I'm down to dive into that. Okay. Great question, Rico. Thank you. Okay, so let me follow my notes. Never feel no. Okay, so confidence is a muscle, and just like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So how do you build it? 1, take small, bold actions every single day. It doesn't have to be huge. Post that video, send that email, have that conversation. Each small action builds confidence or builds the evidence, that you can do hard things. 2, celebrate your wins, no matter how small. We're so quick to focus on what we didn't do or what went wrong or what about, oh, my friend, by the way, my friend's like, you say sorry a lot. And I'm like, I do. I'm like, where is that coming from? So then I get to reflect on where is that coming from? And so I'm like, she's like, you don't have to be sorry for anything. She's all, stand in your power and show up. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So anyways, that's something I get to work on. And I'm like, but I get to reflect on where that's coming from. Okay. But what about what you did do? So like celebrate what you did do. Celebrate it. Your brain needs proof that you're capable. I do. I celebrate the wins all the time because guess what? I was so hard on myself for the last 5 years in my business. I was so hard until one of my friends said, well, look at how far you've come. Wow, game changer. I was like, we never celebrate ourselves. We're always looking at what we didn't do. So celebrate those wins. It's going to be a world of difference in your life. Number 3, surround yourself with people who see your greatness. Oh, I love that because I get to do that all the time. When I go to events, when I go, out with friends, they see who I am. They see the real me. And it's not, again, you guys see the real me. I show up as who I am, but they get to see that, where people who don't know me yet don't know who I am as a person. So always surround yourself with people who see your greatness. You can't rise in an environment that's constantly pulling you down. Find your people, the ones who believe in you, who cheer you on, who remind you of who you really are. And here's the most important part. Stop waiting for permission. You don't need anyone's approval to step into your power. You don't need validation from your family or your friends, your industry, or anyone else. You were meant for more, and the only person who needs to believe that is you. So what does it actually mean to own your power? Because I think a lot of us have this idea that owning your power means being loud, aggressive, or dominating. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Owning your power means showing up as your authentic self unapologetically. Unapologetically, you guys. Where I kept saying sorry. So doing it unapologetically, and it's true. Speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. This is what it means. setting boundaries without guilt, going after your dreams without asking for permission, taking up space without apologizing. There you go. Being visible even when it's uncomfortable. I think it is because you'll notice when you're around somebody and you're always doing that. Well, I work with this little girl and she's going to be 3 years old, and she's the cutest thing. And I'm always saying, oh, I'm sorry. Like if I bump into her, that's probably where my verbiage is coming. I'm thinking it's that. But anyways, it's okay. Owning your power is not being perfect. It's about being real. It's about letting go of who you think you're supposed to be and stepping fully into who you actually are. And here's the beautiful part. When you own your power, you give other people permission to do the same. Your courage creates a ripple effect. When you stop playing small, you inspire the women or men around you to stop playing small too. So ask yourself, what would my life look like if I fully owned my power? What would you create? Who would you become? What impact would you make? That vision, that's what you were meant for. Write it down, play with it, have fun with it. I told myself 5 years ago that I was going to be a woman empowerment coach, traveling around the world, empowering and inspiring women everywhere. And although I'm not traveling, God put me on another path. He put me behind a desk in front of a camera that shares on a TV network that reaches women and men globally. I'm here for it. So let's go. All right, recap. Stop waiting to feel ready. Confidence comes with action. Identify the hidden beliefs keeping you small. Take back your control from your inner critic. Build confidence like a muscle, one bold move at a time. Own your power by showing up authentically and unapologetically. You were not meant to shrink. You were not meant to play small. You were meant to shine. So let me know if you guys have any questions before I wrap this up, because I have something coming for you next week, like I mentioned. So you definitely want to come back next week for that. So here's my challenge for you. What's one bold move you're going to make this week? Drop it in the comments. If you're catching this on replay, you can still drop it in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you're ready to ignite your confidence and step fully into your power, I'd love to support you. Book your complimentary session at francinaayala.com/meant for more. So let me go ahead and drop this in. So let's uncover what's been holding you back, create a plan, and move forward, you guys. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much for being here with me and asking the questions. I appreciate you. So let me drop this in really quick. And I can't believe I forgot to put it in. Okay, there we go. And any more questions, you guys, I'm going to leave us be at this area. There we go. Okay, francinaayala.com/meant for more. And like I said, come back next week. All right, Rico, let's talk about it. Rico's like, let's talk more. Yes, we need to talk more. So come back next week, you guys. I'm going to have a gift for you. You definitely don't want to miss out. And I can't wait to see you there. I can't wait to see you here. And then let's connect and talk more about how I can support you in your own journey. So thank you all. And again, if you caught any value in this show, I'm sure you did, but please share it with someone that could use some inspiration, use uplifting, use some real talk, because you know me, I'm always off the cuff. And although I have some notes with me, you guys know I'm always sharing stories and situations that have occurred, and I'm always going to show up real and authentic. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. So thank you all. Have a blessed week and an amazing weekend, and I will see you next week on the show. All right? Take care. Thank you, guys.